So welcome to chair yoga. Let's make sure you might have a blanket handy or a towel. I've got the blocks here. Not sure if we'll use the blocks, but they're handy as well. And gently walk your sit bones towards the front of the chair, so you're not leaning back. If you bring your hands under the back of the legs, you can feel your hamstrings from the sit bones all the way down to the knees, all freed up. Your feet roughly parallel, hip width distance apart. And when I say roughly, sometimes people like to have a little rotation out a few degrees, but we tend to try and get the alignment of the feet under the knees. And as we start this new year, 2022, let's think about general maintenance today. Just generally taking care of the spine, the hips, the neck. So that vertical area down through the body that we need to keep in good tune. And the good thing about chair yoga is we can keep these parts of the body in good tune throughout the day. We don't have to wait for a yoga class. All we have to do is remember, oh, I have a spine. Oh, I have hips. I should do something right now rather than just sit in the same position. Let's start with a general loosening up. Grab the hands down towards the knees, hold the thighs or the knees and start to swivel the spine in a circle around the hips. We're just creating a little lubrication, a little dynamic movement to start with. And you might close the eyes and feel the different areas of the body as you turn. You might notice the neck and the head. And let the neck and the head become a little looser so it's not rigidly. You might find the chin drops as you come forward and the chin lifts as you come back. So you feel these little inner movements of the spine up towards the neck, the cervical spine. You might feel the shoulders and the ribs as you push to one side or lift. You might feel the low back. And as you lean forward and the weight comes over the legs, you might even feel something in the feet or the ankles, the knees, the thighs. The next time you come all the way up, pause, and then reverse direction. And notice if reversing direction changes anything, new sensations. And usually when we change directions, we're moving in the non-habitual rotation, the one we don't normally do. So it might feel weird. And then come to a pause. Try to find an equal balance on the left sit bone and the right sit bone. You might rock from side to side until you feel, ah yes, there they are. I'm going to ground down into the sit bones. And then grab hold of the hips with your hands and Rolodex them forward so you feel the low back arch. And then Rolodex them backwards so you feel the tailbone tuck, the abdominals crunch, and the chin drops down. Try that again. Push them forward, feel the low back arch, a little back bend, and then crunch, tuck the tailbone, drop the chin, a little forward bend, flexing and extending the spine. Try to find mid position, not too much flex, not too much extension, and lift the shoulders up, roll the shoulders back and down, palms face up, elbows close to the ribs so you feel the chest open, and then feel the back of the neck. You want the back of the neck a little longer so there's a slight pulling up at the base of the skull and the top of the skull. So you feel nice and tall. As you inhale, press the sit bones down. As you exhale, lift the crown of the head up. So you create a little dynamic movement here in the static pose. Inhale, push the sit bones down. Exhale, lift the crown of the head up. Breathing in and out of the nose. And create a little tiny Mona Lisa smile, softening the face. And let each new breath become a little deeper. Breath by breath, breathing in a little more. And when you find your rhythm of deeper breathing, breathing in through the nose, you can breathe out through the nose or the mouth. Start to synchronize some arm and shoulder movement here, inhaling, lifting the arms above the head, and then exhaling, floating the hands out to the side body, palms face down. So you're like a big bird flying in slow motion. Inhale, palms face up, reach up. Exhale, float down. Notice the range of motion in the shoulders today. Very important part of our yearly maintenance check. Now let's add the neck and head. So the next time you lift up, lift the chin up, lift the gaze up. Feel the back of the head drop back. And then as you exhale, drop the chin down to the chest. Bring the shoulders forward a little bit, round the back. So exaggerating the movement by including the head and neck as you float the arms, and also tucking the tailbone as you finish the movement so the low back stretches out. Let's do 5 more. With your breath. If you're moving faster than me, that's fine. If you're moving slower than me, also fine. Just synchronize with your own breath. Not worried about my speed. And always a general reminder to work in the pain-free range of motion. Never overdoing it. The goal is to maintain and increase range of motion, not to injure ourselves. Let's do 1 more. And then bring the hands back onto the thighs, palms face up. Sit bones even. Shoulders roll back and down, elbows close to the ribs. Crown of the head lifts. Mona Lisa smile. And then let each new breath grow a little deeper. So when we do maintenance checks on the body, we want a little bit of dynamic movement, not just a static stretch. We'll get into some static work later. Now start to gently rock from sit bone to sit bone, like you're on a rocking boat. And as you rock to the left, let the left ear come down towards the left shoulder. And as you rock to the right, the head sways to the right. So you're feeling the neck move out sideways, laterally, and you feel a stretch between the shoulder and the neck. And then let your hands gently dangle beside you and slide the fingertips down the leg of the chair. So you can go a little further. You can feel the hands, if they needed to, they could support you. And now your whole spine is starting to lean more and more. So the sway is getting deeper. The next time you sway to the right, let the left hand tap the back of the head. So you feel a new dimension to the stretch. And working in synchrony with the breath. Let's try it a little different this week. Inhale as you sway to one side. Exhale as you sit up. Inhale as you sway to the other side. Exhale as you sit up. Inhale. So the inhaling helps us put the brakes on as we come to one side. And if you'd like to go the extra yard, the next time you sway to the right, rainbow that left hand over the head so the left hand comes a little further. So in our general maintenance check, we're moving through the spine, moving in 6 different directions. Extension, flexion, and then left and right flexion. The next time you inhale, pause. Find equal weight on the sit bones. Feet parallel, shoulders roll back and down. Elbows beside the ribs. Inhale, push through the sit bones. Exhale, lift the crown of the head. Mona Lisa smile. Coming back to the posture every time. So everything we do in the end is to help our posture. Exhale, bring that right hand behind the back. Left hand crosses over the midline of the body, creating a gentle turn, modest turn, not too much. Chin over the chest for now. Take a deep breath in and then exhale to the other side. Feel the other side. And then synchronizing with the breath, inhale neutral, exhale twist to one side. Inhale neutral, exhale twist to the other side. And continue on at your own pace, letting the depth of the twist increase when it feels natural. Just allowing the vertebra to lubricate, get rid of all the sticky parts before you go deeper. Then the next time you rotate to the left side, pause and bring that left shoulder back and down. Bring the right shoulder back and down. Lift up through the crown of the head so you're sitting tall, you're keeping the posture here. Inhale, exhale, turn the head to the right. So you just turn the head, the rest of the body stays where it is. Inhale the head to neutral. Exhale the head to the left. So the only thing turning now is the neck and the head. With the breath, inhaling to neutral. exhaling to one side or the other. The next time the head comes to neutral, pause and release the hands. Now before we go to the other side, take a moment to feel your posture. Feel the sensations that continue to echo after the shape is gone. So there might be a little aliveness in the body, a little tingling. Just noticing that. Deep breath in. Exhale, twist to the other side. Find the anchor points with the hands. Then come to the shoulders back and down. Lift up through the crown of the head. Shoulders relaxed. Exhale, turn the head to the opposite direction. Head turns left. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, head turns right. So continue the twisting of the neck and the head. Always looking for a modest twist. Doesn't have to be 100%. It could be 60, 70%, maybe 80%. Not overdoing it. Exhale, release. Once again, noticing how the posture feels. Sit bones even, feet evenly balanced on the floor. Crown of the head lifts, shoulders relaxed. Mona Lisa smile. So we're going to do a sweep through the body a couple of times. That's the first time around. Grab the knees. Let's rotate the spine around the hips and notice how that feels after the 6 directions of the spine. Stirring the pelvic bowl like you'd stir a big pot of soup. The ladle going round and round. Getting all the chunks off the side of the pot. And the other direction. So this first round, just getting into some dynamic movement. Let's move into the hips. Inhale, come up. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way for now. So taking that left knee out to the side, and just feeling that opening in the left thigh. Check your left foot, left knee pointing towards the left, and right knee, right foot just pointing straight ahead. And then close. So let's do some opening and closing with that left thigh only. Lubricating the hips. Let's add resistance. So as you try to open that left thigh, bring the left hand against the outer edge and push. And as you close, push against the inner thigh to add resistance and create a little strength work for the legs, a little strength work for the arms, and a little strength work for the core on the left side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, whew, should be feeling it, 5, 4, whew, 3, 2, and I'd say that's well lubricated. Close the eyes for a moment. Notice the contrast between the left and right thigh, the left and right leg, left and right hip. Other side. Opening up that right knee, make sure you get that angle. So we're shooting for 90 degrees roughly. If you don't have 90 degrees at this point, that's okay. We're just working towards that. Away we go. Closing, opening. And then you can add resistance when you're ready. Ten. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release. All right, grab the knees, pelvic stir. Other way. And then pause. So we come into some more static work on the spine, but with deeper moves. Let's inhale. Bring the arms behind the back, grabbing hold of the back of the chair. And start with a gentle squeeze between the shoulder blades. And notice how that impacts that movement. And then lift the tailbone a little more so you start to feel the spine arch a little more. And then lift the chin modestly, looking upwards. Notice how that feels. We'll be here for a little while. Now, if you feel you can move the hands closer and you have little gradations in the chair, bring the hands closer. Squeeze the shoulder blades more. Lift the tailbone a little more. Lift the chin a little more. To feeling this back extension. Now, if you can, clasp the hands behind the back so the hands are together. Squeeze the shoulder blades more, arch the back more, lift the chin more, and lift the hands up a little bit away from you. And the final gradation is, can you bring the palm heels together so the whole palm is closed? Squeeze the shoulder blades more, arch the back, lift the chin. For 3, 2, and then release the hands, like the palms face up on the thighs. And notice your posture. And notice when we come into a deep back bend like that, how it impacts the nervous system. Often a back bend will make us feel more alive, more alert. All right, deep forward bend. Grab a block. Bring the block between the feet. Widen the feet. Charlie Chaplin feet, just rotate the feet out into a sumo squat. Resting the elbows on the thighs. Slowly drop the chin. And as you drop the chin, feel the traction or the release in the back of the neck, especially at the base of the neck. The weight of the body resting through the elbows into the thighs. Let's make sure the head and neck is nice and loose. Gently turn the head left and right. Exhale, drop the hands to the block, arms straight for now. Feeling the weight transfer go from the elbows to the hands into the block. Once again, drop the chin towards the chest, so you traction out through the upper back and the neck. If your eyes were open, they'd be looking right back under the chair. Notice if you have to adjust your feet, if the feet have to come in or rotate out. Keep those hips adjusted, and ideally you want the belly nestling between the thighs. You don't want the belly on the thighs. Start to bend the elbows slowly, gradually dropping the torso and the head towards the floor, coming between the thighs. And as soon as you hit a level of, ooh, you can stop there and hang out for a while. And then relax the head again. Now by this time, you've probably got the idea you could bring your hands all the way to the floor and come down even lower. And if you like, you could come into the maximum forward fold here by crossing the arms and letting the torso dangle down, head coming down towards the block even more. Now this is a deep forward fold, so let's come out slowly. Hands on the block. Straighten the arms, relax the head. One elbow at a time, bring it back to the thighs. Drop the head. So just the same way we came down, we come back up. Let's move the block out of the way. Walk the hands back along the thighs. Bring the hands to the edges of the chair. Slide your sit bones further forward. Walk your hands further back. Lean back and straighten the legs. Push out through the heel bones. Toes curled back. So feel that in the calf muscles. Feel that in the calf muscles. That should feel delicious. And for those who want a little strength work, push the hands into the chair and lift your hips off the chair. So you come into a reverse plank. For 3, squeeze the butt. 2, carefully drop the sit bones back to the edge of the chair. Bend the knees. And come back, find your posture. Palms face up, elbows close to the ribs. Crown of the head lifts. Each new breath a little deeper. Inhaling, pushing down through the sit bones. Exhaling, lifting the crown of the head. Mona Lisa smile. Once again, noticing how your posture's feeling. Is it starting to feel more natural? All right, deep lateral flexion. Dangle the hands beside you and slide that right arm down the leg of the chair modestly. Drop the right ear and tap the back of the head for a moment. And just notice if you have to adjust. If that's too much, come up the chair leg a little bit. Adjust. Lift that left elbow a little more so you feel the stretch in the ribs. Now, deepen the breath here so the breath is actually doing the stretching. As you inhale and feel the lungs expand in all directions, you feel sensations in that left rib cage. Now try to tuck the tailbone a little bit here so you brace the core, and then slide your right hand down a little more. Lean a little more to the right, lift that left elbow up a bit more. Push the back of the head into the hands so you're not dropping the chin forward. Whoo, feeling this? Keep the breath going. Let's do one more level. When you're ready, tuck the tailbone, brace the core, make sure the low back is protected. Come down a little bit more if you can. Lift that left elbow a little more if you can. Breathe. Back of the head pushes into the hand for 3, 2, and then lift up. Find your posture. Whew. Notice if you feel a little lopsided. A little lopsided here. One side of the body opened, the other closed. And remember, when you're closing down one side of the body, you're helping strengthen that side of the body. So you're not wasting those deep stretches. Dangle the hands, left hand finds the leg of the chair. Deep breath in and exhale, just leaning, very modest lean. Ear comes down. Relax that right shoulder and then bring the right hand to touch the back of the head. So keeping the posture of the head in alignment with the spine, so you're feeling the tailbone slightly tuck and the back of the head pressing into that right hand. So you're keeping this integrity in the spine at both ends, hips and neck. You might find one side feels different. Inhale, exhale, slide down a little deeper. Tuck the tailbone. Bring that right elbow back a little more and over. Drop the ear a little more. Keep the breath moving through the pose. Now think about the last stage. Brace the core, brace the head, exhale, come down a little more and lift that right elbow a little more. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and ta-da. Come on up. Find your posture. Palms face up. And notice if the posture feels a little more effortless. It almost feels that the posture is becoming more natural. Static twist. Bring the right hand, let's tuck the right hand into the waistline of the pants as close to your left hip as you can, bringing that right shoulder back so you feel the right shoulder blade squeezing in towards the spine, and then reaching with the left hand across the front of the body and feeling the left shoulder blade coming away from the spine. So if you can visualize your two shoulder blades, that right one is squeezing towards the spine and the right one's coming away, and that's creating the shoulder rotation. And you can bring the left hip back, right hip forward, so you're feeling the rotation down deep as well. And instead of turning the head in the same direction, exhale the head to the left. So the cervical spine is twisting contrary to the thoracic. Now let's hit those parameters. Right hip forward, left hip back. Right shoulder forward, left shoulder back. Right cheekbone coming to the right, left cheekbone coming to the right. So you can feel it in all directions. And just watching the temptation to not drop the chin. And then breathe on top of all that. Try to increase the size of the breath even though it's challenging. Let the increased breath create stretch sensations. And we're going to go one more round here. Bring that left hip back, right hip forward. Other way around. I forgot I'm going in the opposite direction. Sorry about that, guys. So that right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. Left cheek to the left, right cheek to the left. And release. Sorry if I confused you on that one. Gently unwind. Gently unwind. Pause, find your posture. And notice the impact on the nervous system from twists. All right, general maintenance 2022. Let's come to the other side. Right hand anchors into that waistline right next to that right hip. Left shoulder comes back. Right hand crosses and anchors. Sit up tall. And then exhale, turning the head to the opposite direction. Stage one, let each new breath increase without tensing the shoulders. Sit up tall. So think of being vertical as much as twisting. Sitting tall as much as turning. Bring the right hip forward more, left hip back. Right shoulder forward more, right shoulder back. Right elbow back. And then turn the right cheek to the right. Trying to bring that left ear around as much as possible. Find the breath, let each new breath expand. Relax the shoulders, sit up tall. Last round, bring that right hip forward more, left hip back. And then left shoulder back, left elbow back, right shoulder forward. And then once again, bring that right cheek back, left cheek forward. 3 deep breaths here. Sit up tall. And then relax. Let go, unwind slowly, organically, carefully. Noticing your posture. Look at that. So different. Let's get some static work in the legs and hips. Open that right leg out 90 degrees. No, before that, let's do some pot stirring. Let's loosen up that spine after all that static work. Let's go 5 circles in each direction. Change direction if you haven't already. And pause. All right, hip hip hooray. Let's get into the hips. Let's open that left hip open. Just like we did before, we had that nice 90-degree turn, and then heel toe the right leg out, 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 as far back as you can towards that right side. So you've got a nice straight right leg. And look at that right foot for a moment. We want the pinky toe grounded. So we want to feel some stretch in the right ankle as we push down the outer edge of that foot. We also want to feel a big stretch in that right inner groin, right thigh. And then you want to look back at the left knee, make sure it hasn't caved in. If there's too much sensation here, you simply angle that back foot in less than what it is. So at the moment it's trying to get to 180, but it might be at 110, even 90, just depending on what's going on with your back leg. Bring the right shoulder back and look back behind you. Keep the left hand on the inner left knee and push against the left knee. So you really feel that left knee is integral to the pose. Float the right hand behind you, palm facing down, shoulders soft, reach back with that right hand. And breathe into that half warrior two. Keep the right hand extended, right leg strong. Turn the head left, looking over the left shoulder, and then float the left hand up parallel to the ground. And breathe. And smile. And breathe. And reach with that left hand. And reach with the right hand. And smile. And breathe. And then drop the back hand onto the back leg. Lift the front hand up and over the head. Reverse warrior. Lift that right hand. Feel the ribs lift up. Back leg strong. Watch that knee doesn't cave in at the front. For 3 more breaths. And then slowly release. Float the hands back to the chair. Soften the legs. Lean back as you bring the knees front and center. And feel your posture. Notice how your hips feel in your posture now. How open you might be beginning to feel in the front body as you sit up tall. Rotate the right knee 90 degrees. Right foot, right knee, heel toe that left leg out behind you. Once again, you can see the difference between 180 degrees between the feet, and the more that foot rotates towards the front of the chair is completely up to you. You're looking for delicious discomfort here. Now press down through that outer edge of that right foot, pinky toe grounded, so you feel that right ankle getting a nice stretch. Now push a little bit more through the heel bone so you start to feel that pull on the inner left groin. You feel that inner thigh, that adductor starting to stretch. Now this is where we remember the front knee. We want to keep the right hand against the inner front knee so that front knee doesn't collapse inwards. And then slowly bring the left shoulder back so the torso is kind of twisting towards the left. Float the left hand out and parallel to the ground, relaxing the shoulder and reaching back a little further. Start to slowly rotate the head without losing the integrity here. The head looking over the right shoulder. Keeping that right knee in place, float the right hand up. Now feel the shoulders relax, but you reach further towards the horizons in front and behind. Warrior two, proud warrior. Keep that left shoulder blade coming back towards the spine. You might even feel some fire and heat in that left shoulder blade. Drop the back hand, lift the front hand, reverse warrior. Look up towards that front hand, lift the ribs, lift the elbow, lift the hand, and breathe. Exhale, release the hands, grab the chair. Bring the knees back to neutral, find your posture. And then one more static stretch in the hips, slightly different. Rotate that left knee to the left. Now swivel the whole body to the left. And slide your left thigh right up to the front of the chair so your right thigh is off the chair. Your right thigh, you can smack your right thigh because it's not even on the chair. Only the left thigh is. Grab the back of the chair for stability and then start to reach the right foot back onto the ball of the foot. So we're feeling sensation on the ball of the foot. And then relax, come onto the tips of the toes. The knee is bent. Then push back through the right heel, straightening the knee, coming onto the ball of the foot. Try that again. Come onto the tips of the toes, knee bends, then push back. So we're pulsating that back leg and feeling stretch sensation in the right hip flexor. We're feeling stretch sensation in the right hamstring, right calf, right Achilles, through the toes, through the arch of the foot. Push back and hold. Bring your right hand to the hip and push the hip forward as you push back through that right heel. Now I like to adjust my left foot here, make sure it's really stable in front of me. Usually that means heel toeing it to the left, so it's nice and stable. And now I can consider bringing some serious weight into the hips by lifting the hands into Warrior One. Exhale, gently release. Come back to neutral. Always a gentle release. Feel. Now when you come into your posture this time, you should feel quite a contrast between the right and left sides of the body. They should feel like two different bodies right now. Let's even them up before Shavasana. Rotate that right leg. Swivel the hips. Left thigh is suspended. Walk the left foot back. Grab the back of the chair for stability. That right thigh is nice and grounded on the chair. And then start to pulsate the back leg by straightening the knee, pushing back through the heel bone, feeling the stretch in the bottom of the toes, the arch of the foot, and then releasing, coming onto the tops of the toes. Knee relaxes and release. Pulse back again, push, straighten, relax. One more time, push back through the left heel, come onto the ball of the foot, left hand, left hip, push the left hip forward, push that left heel back, get a nice sensation into that left hip flexor, stabilize that front leg again. So imagine if you were going to stand up here. Where do you want that front leg? You don't want it too narrow. You want it wide, so you heel toe it to the right, then you lift your hands. Feeling warrior one, strong in the legs, good posture. Exhale, release. Slowly come back. Grab the knees and stir up the soup. The soup's pretty well done now. You should feel a lot of sensation as you stir. And then the other way. So your hips should be feeling it, your legs, your spine, your shoulders, your neck. And then come to stillness. Find your posture. Mona Lisa smile. Nice rhythmic breath. And we're going to prepare for Shavasana, ecstatic back pose. So I'm going to recommend you come off the chair. Rotate the chair towards, bring it towards the top of the mat with the seat of the chair facing you. You can have your blanket handy. Bring the hands down to the seat of the chair. Let's do an L stretch. Lift the gaze, bend the knees, drop down to the knees, and then drop down onto the sit bones. Scoot your body up nice and close to the front of the chair, and then come onto the back and lift, elevate the calf muscles onto the seat of the chair. Drop the hands out beside your palms face up. And if you need the blanket for support of the head, use the blanket or the towel to support the head. Now, to support the head, ideally you have neutral head tilt. So your chin is not poking up into the air and it's not crushed against your chest. If you brought your fist up under the chin, there would be just enough space for your fist between the chin and the chest. So part of our annual maintenance for 2022 is rest, is recovery, is good sleep. So in Shavasana, practice the skills. Practice the skills of sleep. Relaxing any part of the body you notice is tense. Relax the shoulders, the neck. Relax the hips, Relax the legs. Relax the low back. The other way you prepare for sleep is you let the eyes become still. So practice stilling the eyes like they're little stone pebbles that sink back into the eye sockets. Let the jaw go limp. And then let the breathing become very gentle and slow. So there's no strain in the breath. Each time you let go with the breath, you might focus on the mantra in, out, breathe, relax. Nourishing breath. Letting go. This next breath. This wonderful breath. Take a deeper breath in. Stretch the arms over the head. Oh. Curl the toes back. And then gently roll to one side into a little ball. And when you're ready, press up to a comfortable seat. You can stay seated on the floor if that's comfortable. You can always come back to the chair if you prefer. Legs can be in any position. And feel your 110-point maintenance check for 2022. Notice how you feel. Happy New Year, folks. Namaste.
Namaste. Happy New Year.